Recently, there has been a lot of variation to the step up for new unit in the EN version, so I also want to compare how it also went down in the JP version. Well, kind of. Oh, and please note that this is only for permanent pull character, doesn't include limited character or memory character. The first variation starts from Heat Coat all the way to CotC. Hana didn't get any step up at the time, so she was just a standalone banner, which is the normal standard banner. There wasn't any step up around this time yet, so the way it worked was that for 150 pay rubies, you get to do one 10 pull and one 10 pull only. After that, this banner, well, not even a banner even, but this special 10 pull go away and you can go back to your normal banner. After CotC, Bravely Default got introduced to the game, and it also introduced the step up system along with the collab. It was a free step up, need 3,000 rubies to pity for a unit, and also 50% on the last step, like how we have in EN, well, except for Adele. After the Bravely Default collab, we got a new character named Mulu, and along with Mulu was our very first pay step up. The pay step up is 950 rubies, have 4 steps, and I assume that on the very last step, the percentage of getting the character you want, the feature banner character, is 6%. And the reason I say 6% was because I cannot find any proper data for Mulus or any of the past banner. Finding percentage statistic of a past banner online for a small game like this is really hard. But I did come across a JP YouTuber who was pulling on the Darion banner and they displayed the percentage, and it was 6% to pull Darion on the last step, just like Cyrus say, although it's kind of a weird exception though, so I'll explain it later. And its pay variation lasts all the way from Mulu to Eleonora, although there was some weird exception in between though. Ophidia and Oberek were the unit that got released for the first year anniversary of the JP version, and the pay step up is a bit different from the one they were in the past. It was 1350 rubies to finish it, it has 5 steps, and also I assume it's also 6% for each character, but in exchange for all of that, the pity for Ophidia and Oberek was 100. Which means effectively that if you don't want to pull on a pay banner, you only need 3,000 rubies to pity for either Ophidia or Oberek. The second exception to this is, surprisingly, Darion. Darion wasn't an anniversary unit though, but he was a unit that got released on the 1st of January in 2022, so he also got the same rules applied to his step up the same way Ophidia and Oberek is. I don't know if the 6% for the 1350 pay step up banner is the same for the other 950 step up banner, so that's why I say the 6% might not apply to all the other step up, but from what I've seen from most other video who pull on the character, it's probably 6%, I guess. Even if it's 6%, it's definitely not 50% because I rarely see anyone get the feature banner character on the very last step. And yes, I apologize for being a bit misinformation about that because I thought that the 100 pity thing was only an EN thing only, but apparently Darion also had that because he's a new year unit. So the 100 pity was a thing for both AN and JP, so accurately, EN banner is better than JP for Darion because Darion over here only 15% on the last step, while over there is 6%, so EN win here. After Eleonora, the next pay step up variation we have is starting from Alphen all the way to the current JP time right now. Compared to the past variation, there's been some improvement to this one. Alphen banner, first of all, only need 150 pity to pull for Alphen, just like how we have it in EN. And also, the last step is also 50%, so the pay step up that we got for EN for Alphen is the exact same that JP have. And all of the unit that released after Alphen is also the same as him. They only need 150 rubies to pity, assuming that they are a permanent pull character. And also because of that, I also assume that from now on, every single permanent pull unit will always be 150 pity instead of 200 pity, so that's definitely an improvement. I also want to talk a bit about how pay step up worked for limited character in JP. Limited unit in JP did not get a pay step up until Xenia come to the game, so any unit before Xenia, which was Dorothea, Liana, Odette, and TT, none of them got a pay step up attached with them. The pay step up for Xenia and Leon, and I also assume any future limited character, are a less generous version of the Darion banner. The last step percentage got improved from 6% to 50%, but the pity for the limited character is still at 200, so not like Darion where you only need 100 to pity. And one final question, how will Cyrus banner be handled? Well, I have no idea to be honest. Cyrus was before the Bravely Default collab happened, which means that he had no step up, and he also followed the same rule as the first variation, 150 for 10 pull, one time only. But Santa and Lionel were released before the Bravely Default collab happened, and they got a step up in the end. So if my guess were to be how it worked, it's depend on how next week banner will be. If Medusa treatment stay for next week banner, then I also assume can we go to Cyrus banner, where you can pity him for 100 pity for a 4.5 star. But if they treat him differently because he is one of the original 8 unit and he is a very anticipated character, then I assume that it might be the Alphen treatment. And that is the end of this video. Goodbye.